ladies, how are you? Good evening. I was a little bit late. I was looking at posts and looked at the time and thought, oh dear. Okay, so welcome Fiona and Shell. How are you, ladies? Thank you for stopping by. I'm assuming you can hear me and all that kind of thing. All right. Oh, turn my light on. Okay, so we might get into it. Thank you for stopping by. It's Linda from Inspired Art Journaling here, and welcome to another Watch Me Work Wednesday. And tonight I'm going to be working on a bit of collage-y type thing. I buy this magazine every time it comes out, every 2 or 3 months it comes out, and I really love looking, reading the articles and that kind of thing. It has lots of inspirational items in it, but I also love it for collage fodder. And I don't know if any of you are aware of the magazine, but it has lots of lovely like that's the opening page. It has all sections. It has little quotes, so quite often I'll cut those out and put them on a page. You could cut that up beautifully and use that as a collage. So there's all sorts of lovely pages in here and beautiful, look at that, look at those colours. So if you're doing up some kind of collage or something, some images are nice that you could use, and again, like the headings and that sort of thing. And look at, there's some fussy cutting flowers there for you. And so there's all sorts of things in here, but tonight I'm going to be looking at this page here, and I'm actually going to be obviously using her as my focus, but I'm also going to use the little oranges around the place. And this article is about In Pursuit of Happiness, and that is actually going to be my quote that I use. I'll just bring that up a little bit. Hi Susan. Oh, hi Carolyn, how are you? Okay, so I'm going to be using that as my quote, like I said before. And also there's, on the next page, there's some more bits here, and I actually will be using this as well. Word of warning though, if you do use these magazines or any magazine, always check before you start cutting, always check what's on the back. And if there's an image there you like, I don't know, copy it or something, but just be mindful of what's on the back of your pages. So that's kind of where we're heading tonight. So the first thing I will do is I'm going to very carefully just put that board there. I'm going to very carefully cut these pages out. So I'll just grab my knife here, excuse me, while I do that. I mean, I could try and rip it out. I'm trying to be very, very careful. I guess it just depends where you are in the magazine. Now I know, you buy these magazines and you think, oh my goodness, she's chopping it up, but I buy it, I read it, and then I use it. Okay, I've often cut up all these pages and actually made a collage, a scene out of the cutout bit. So this one's just recently come out, so this is the new one. I think there's another one in December. But anyway, you can buy it at your Woolies or supermarkets. Okay, so that's that. We'll get rid of that for the moment. So here's our pieces of paper. I'm going to use, like I said, I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that little image there as well. And so I'm going to be cutting her out. I mean, I love this saying here, if you want to be happy, be. I know that's quite profound. So, that's something that I will write down and keep in mind for later. Also, I'm going to be using, I've just found these in my stash, they're Vicky Bouton I'm not sure how old they are. I just found them in there and I thought I haven't used these, so I'm going to use them. I'm probably going to use, originally I was going to use the flowers, but I've decided to use the geometric pattern. So these are layered, I think. We'll have a look. I'm fairly sure they would be layered. Okay, let me just put them aside. I keep those and use them for ATCs or something. Alright, so if I lay that on top of that, yeah, we can layer those. So that gives me some scope to do some stenciling later. I'll be using that. And I am going to, before stamping, I am going back to my favourite old Kaisercraft stamp. I don't know how many, I've had this for such a long time. It is still available. And these stamps, I don't know how much they are now, but it's only like about $6 or something like that. And there's Kaisercraft all over the place. So this would have to be my one-time favourite stamp for doing backgrounds, mark making. And also this is another Kaisercraft and it's got the words love, cherish and adore. I've actually got it stamped out here, so I'm going to be using that, and then that's the stamp as well. So I'll be using those two, going down memory lane. And of course, at the 11th hour, I decided to do a couple of die cuts. This is also a Kaisercraft die cut that I have, and so I've just chopped up a few of those just in case I want to use it. And I am going to be using a window. This is from 49er Market. I always like to have a set of these in my stash. I tend to buy them with as little colour as possible, because quite often I will paint them. Okay, so I mean I could just put Lindy's over that and still keep that nice background, but today I'll be making a dark background, so I'll be using that as well. So let's get started. I'm going to be working in, I'll just put those aside for the moment. I'm going to be working in my craft journal. I'm slowly getting to the end of it. And so it needs a little bit of help there. Okay. Now I've put some tape down there because it's I've used it quite a bit, so we're getting to the end, so it's really stretched to the limit at the moment. So I've gessoed with clear gesso. The only reason being is that I'm going to be putting colour on here, but I don't mind if a bit of craft colour comes through as well. So that is my intention, to put colour on, but hopefully leave a bit of craft there as well. Alright, so I'll just put them aside so I don't get paint all over them. Now colour wise, to blend in with the picture, I got out the mustard and lemon from Dina Wakley, so I'll probably be using those. And I also grabbed out vanilla custard by Dilutions, so I've got that as well. And as a bit of contrast, I've got sapphire and I've got night. Okay, so I've been using those as well. And something else I'll be using, the splatters. I was using this today, and it's the new gloss squirt bottles, I suppose you call them. So I'll use that beautiful as a splatter. All right. Okay, so let's go with that. So it's going to be just a very, let me grab a brush here. Just a very organic sort of background I'll be doing. I'll just squeeze out a little bit of paint. Nothing too taxing at all. Oh, I need to put something there because something I was doing this afternoon. Okay. A little bit of paint. Now I've lost my paint. There it is. Put a little bit over here. I just love this mustard colour. I've got it also in the gloss. I really love the new colours in the gloss. I'll just put a little bit of paint over that so we don't see too much. By the time we put all the images in that, you're not going to see that tape much anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. Not cleaning my brush off because they're all much the same sort of colours. Put a bit of lemon there. Yeah, that'll do for the moment. Blend that in. It's going to look very yellowy. Yellow's not a colour that I tend to use much. But we'll tone that back with a lot of stenciling, stamping, etc. Okay, how's that looking there? Yeah. Come back and put some more of that mustard on, I think. So I'm just going to put, oh dear. Hope everyone is well. It's raining here at the moment. I was hoping we wouldn't get a storm today, this afternoon, but we've just got a little bit of rain. But I think down south might be getting a bit of a storm today. I'm not sure. Just by listening to the news. Let me just have a look in the camera, see what's happening. Yep, okay, looking good. One good thing about having the doing the lights is you have the camera set up so I can see exactly what I'm producing here because of the angle that you're working at. And with all the lights, I can't often see the page properly. And of course, as in usual fashion, I've covered up the whole page, so it wouldn't have mattered if I did it white anyway, but that's okay. Those brushes out the way, put that in there. Okay, it's a little bit rough and ready, but that's okay because I'm going to put lots of stuff over it. You've just had a storm come through. Oh, have you? Yeah, I did hear. Oh, hi, Shari. I did hear that down south was getting most of it. We were just getting a bit of rain, I think. We've had a couple of doozies, though. So I'm happy with that. I've also got some my white gesso here because I'll be doing a bit of stenciling and that kind of thing. Now, I think I'll start off with this guy here, and I'm just going to stencil. Sorry, I'm just having a bit of a thought wave then, trying to work out what I'm going to do. I think I will do white. So I tend to use my gesso. Just get some of my gesso out. Hopefully that's enough. And I'll just move this over so I can bring my gesso, my palette in a bit. Okay, so you should be able to just see. Lots of wind. Yeah, we had lots of wind like a couple of weeks ago. It was just really quite alarming because we don't normally have that much. Not this time of year anyway. Okay, so I'm just going to smash this through. I'm not worried about being, you know, really pedantic and very careful with it. You can sort of see that it's thicker in some parts than that. I'm not too worried about that, mostly because I'm going to run the other stencil over it. And we'll see what that looks like. Yeah, not too bad. So I'll put a little bit down here. Oh, it's in the crease. I'm trying to avoid the corners there so it doesn't, it's a bit hard doing it in the center here. Yes, I'm trying to avoid having too much of, I'm just tapping on there because I've got too much paint on it. And a bit over here. I like the layering stencils, they give you a little bit more scope to work with. I could take my time and make this all nice, and if you really wanted it to look really nice, and when I say nice I mean this is a bit hodgepodgey what I've got here, what you could use is a blending brush. That would probably give you a better result, but I'm quite happy with what I've got there, and I'm not too worried about lots of this. We're just mark making, we're doing our layers. So I'm just going to put a little bit down here. Oops. Okay, bit there, and we'll just put a tiny bit up here too. I quite like the lemon with the mustard. I've not used that. I don't think I've used it together before, but I quite like the blend of that. And just a bit down there. Just want to make sure. I like my corner, I like it coming off the page. So I just want to make sure there's some up there. So with this one here, just make sure there's some. It's just one of those things. I like the stencils to come off the page. All right, so there we go. We've got that done there. And hello, Robin. How are you doing? Thanks for joining us. Yeah, so I've just dried this off, and then I'll lay it over the other stencil. And I think with the other stencil, I might do the lemon. Put some lemon out on my palette. I might just chop that off so I don't waste it. And I will go over the same spots as much as possible. I wonder if it should have been, yeah, and this is fine. And I mean, it doesn't matter if I go over them. Like I say, this is just layers. We're creating layers for our background. And because I'm using one of the colours that I used in the first layer, it's just going to blend in with it. So if you do go over something that you didn't do in white, it doesn't matter. It'll actually look quite nice if you do that. Okay, that looks pretty cool there. So the idea is just to try and match it up as much as possible, but I'm not going to cry if it's not completely lined up. always layer the stencil back if I need to. Just feel it needs a little bit out there. Good-o. This is good because I can see what's happening, and then I can fix it up. I'm not completely lined up, and that's okay. I'm not too worried about that. Very interesting because it doesn't quite. Just because it's got the wrong way. I don't know if there is a direction on this. I have no idea, but anyway. Oh, more paint. Awesome. Bit up here. And I am deliberately going over the edges now so that it does extend out past the white that I've done. And it's good because it doesn't matter if you're a bit messy. Remember we were not quite sure that these are exactly lined up well, but anyway. There we go. And look, you know, I'm not being very careful with this, so it's not what I would call a perfect blend, but that's okay. And a bit down here. Oops, got a bit of white on there. A bit missing there, I forgot to do. So just have a look over the page to see if there's any parts that you've missed. Oh, a little bit more. Okay. Alright, I'm getting too pedantic now, which is what I normally do. Okay, so leave that. Alright, so we've got some of that done. Oh, it's so yellow, isn't it? Goodness me. I am going to do a little bit more with this one, and I'm going to use this the vanilla custard, but I'm not going to put the lines over the top of it. I just want to push away some of that yellow because it's just too much for me to cope with at the moment. So I will go over some of what I've done there, and I'm just tapping. I'm doing it there because that's where the girl's going to go. And I am try going off grid. Okay, how's how's that looking in the... I'm deliberately going off grid here because I want it to be that a little bit different. I'm not necessarily colouring in every diamond either. I'm keeping that a little bit generic. Oops. Because I'm just wanting to tone back some of this yellow just a little. Is anyone creating along tonight, or you're just watching? Gosh, poor old sponges have better days. Okay, dry that off a little bit. So what I am going to do now is, normally I would do stamping and all of that sort of thing. I did bring out a bit of washi tape tonight. I don't know if I'm going to be using it. I use washi tape all the time, so you don't have to always use it, so I don't know if I will. So I'm going to use, not that at the moment, forget about that. At the moment I'm going to use, this is stays on, it's, well, I think it was supposed to be midnight blue, but I couldn't get midnight blue stamp refill, so I think I've ended up with like a French blue or something like that, because I just find the refills sometimes really hard to get. Yes, so I'm going to use that stamp pad, and now what to do with those stamps? Oh, there. Might start off with the grid, for want of a better word. Let me just push that out the way before I stick my hand in that paint. And I'm not using a block, although it's on the plastic that it comes with, but I am just going to let's just do that first. Just a bit lighter. Okay, I hope you can sort of see there. Oh, hello Marianne, how are you, lovely? I'm a person who just doesn't know when to stop. Am I the only one, or are we all like that? I just love this stamp. A bit awkward because of all of the bits that are underneath, so it's very hard for me to work on these things. Okay. Now it is kind of subtle, but there is a lot there. Probably too much, but anyway, that's all right. I'll just bring that up a little bit, just so you can see. So it's just little bits all over the place. I mean, I'm going to be putting lots of other stuff on there. You probably can't see it very well. It's quite shiny, but it's not looking too bad. And then I will grab my words. It's another reason why I got that washi tape out, because the type print is very similar. Oh, it's got breathe. Oh, maybe I will use it. Okay. So, some words. Oops, I smudged that a bit there. Oh dear. So I'll just put these words somewhere. Now, I'll put them over here because the girl's going to go there, so you're probably not going to see much if I put it there. I kind of like the idea of using the blue rather than the black or grey, because it will really lend itself to the picture. And oops. Alright, just ghost that off a bit there. Alright, that'll do. Too much. Alright, so let's just bring that out. Oh, did you find one? Oh, good on you. Because, like I say, it's the one one of the ones I use a lot of. I mean, I'm a Seth After freak and all sorts of things like that. But you know, that is always one that is my go-to, and I reckon I paid about $5.95 for it at the time. And yeah. But anyway, that's great. I'm glad you were able to pick one up. Do you not have Kaisercraft down in Adelaide? Because maybe that's just a Queensland store or something. But anyway, that's okay. If anyone wants one and they can't get them anywhere, let me know and I'll see if I can find it for you. Okay, so the next step I want to do is also the reason I did die cuts is because this will help to break some of that yellow as well when we put the pictures on. And so I'm going to just move this out the way for the minute and start cutting my bits out. Okay, now it is flimsy paper. I am just going to leave a little bit of the yellow as much as I can around. I'm even thinking of backing this onto a board because I want to put the die cuts underneath, and I don't want the die cuts to put make a mark on the girl. So I'm cutting her out, and I am going to stick some of the little oranges on as well. Whoa, Linda. That was so close. And I'll just chop that up in there. And you do have to be careful with these pages because they are like a flimsy sort of material, because it's, you know, it's not like some of the glossy mags that their pages aren't as thick as what you would like. So that's the girl cut out. I might tidy up her a bit there, but I'm not going to get too finicky with it because it's the same colour as the background. So for this part here, I am going to tear. Okay, and tear this off. Trying to get as close to the picture as possible, but leaving a little bit of space. Okay, get rid of that. Now, I'll just, oh no, I'm not going to rip that. Let me rip the quote. Oh, don't they? Oh, okay. I was under the, maybe I might go and have a look again, because last time I looked, they did have it, but you know, I mean, Kaisercraft a bit different these days. They may have taken it off. Oh well, I won't promote it then if you can't buy it. That's a shame. Well, if I find them in stores, I'm going to buy them and people can buy them off me. I'm trying to be very fussy here because I want that quote. So if I'm looking a bit awkward, I am. Because I'm trying to be a little bit careful. Okay, and I want to keep all of that, so I'm going to put that. Now I'm just going to grab this. I'll cut him out a bit later, and I better cut that off in case that's quite a one. I'll often use this paper as my collage paper sometimes if I'm doing it, but not today. Alright, now I'll put her aside for the moment because I don't really want her. Oh, really? Only a butterfly. Yeah, look, I know they've changed. Yeah, okay. But anyway, yes, they're not as big as what they used to be many years ago, but anyway. Alright, so I am just going to I don't necessarily need them all nice, so let me see what I've got here. I feel like I've lost a piece. Hang on. That's that. Oh, here it is. Okay, so I do want to stick that in the corner, and I'm going to leave it overhanging so that I can cut off what is there left. And it's so annoying because it's so big there. Matte medium. Now, Susan, does Nat have a flexible one? I did originally buy her one, a red rubber one from her a few years ago, but I believe she doesn't have it anymore, or can't get it or something. I don't know, because I know the one that I've got of hers is not available as far as I know, but I'd have to check that. I have to look at the website, but I know she's got the grid stencil, but I could be wrong. Just the one that I bought from her is not available anymore. If I've got it here somewhere, it is here somewhere, but I can't remember now. Okay, so I shall put this one on this side. Same thing as what you would normally do, you know, medium, matte medium on top of and below the image. Oops. Some of my whoops. everything. Put way too much matte medium on that. But that's okay. So I'm just going to rip, and I was going to actually in my head, I had a plan. I really wanted to go back old school tonight and, you know, do some collaging. You know, I seem to be doing all sorts of things these days, but we forget to go back to the back to tours. Recently, the other day, I had to redo one of my class videos because, I don't know, Facebook, for some reason it just wasn't there, and I needed to redo it so that people could have access. And it was one that I did using a lot of collage paper, book paper and that kind of thing. Gosh, it was nice to do that again, because we seem to just do the same things all the time. And try and line him up because I don't really want, just make sure I get that in the corner there. I hope you can see everything that I'm doing. Yeah, sorry, it looks like it's not available. Yeah, I'm fairly sure, because I know when I was doing, you know, what is it, brand ambassador, I couldn't use it because it wasn't available, but definitely the grid stencil, because it's actually a really nice one, nice thick rubber one, but she couldn't get it again or something like that. Yes. It's like the Hero Arts one that I bought from Nat too when she first started online, and it's the French script, and it's my favourite. But it's another one that she had a couple of them and could not get it anymore, which is a shame, because but it's wood blocked, and so you know you have to do the whole thing. You can't do it sort of ghosty like. Okay, I'm just probably getting a bit carried away here, but that's okay. So of course now I'm going to, when I'll dry this off, and then I'll do some more stenciling and that around that to let it fit into the page. All right. Something I didn't mention right at the very beginning, because I'm working, and you've probably heard it before though, because I'm working in the craft journal, putting colour on your page, you have to either put white gesso on, which will cover change the colour of the background, but if you want to keep that craft looking, use clear gesso, because any paint that you put on will just soak straight into it. It's really thirsty, and it really absorbs all of the paint very quickly. So you have to put some kind of gesso on. Just tidying up here. Oops. Ooh, just cut into the page. Oh dear. still a bit wet. That's okay. That seems to be all right. I'll just chop off this side. Turn it round. I want to get this book finished. I've only got about 6 or 7 pages left in it, and I really want to get it finished because I seem to favour making my own journals up these days. Because to be honest with you, when I'm doing lives, it's very awkward using these books because like I'm practically standing on my head here trying to cut this up, and it's still wet, which doesn't help. So I will get, if you don't mind, just scratching the edges of that. Whoops. Oh dear, that was a bit wet. Just to get rid of some of that excess. All right. Okay. Whew. Bit rough up the top there, but it's only because I'm too impatient. Okay, so I shall go back to this stencil here. Just cut that off. Still got some white here from before. Actually, I might use some of this as well. A bit more of this out. I'm just getting my paints out that I had before. A bit of lemon. I'll put a bit of lemon out. And we'll put some cheddar out. Okay, so I'm just, oh, sorry, my page is off. Can't quite see my palette, but I've just got the 3 colours, and so what I'm doing now is I'm just going to blend in that paper in with the stencil a little bit. Probably not the best stencil for doing this part, but that's okay. I won't get too carried away there because the girl will cover most of that down this end. But I'm just trying to take it up to, I'm even going over the blue a little bit. So I might just try. No, I don't want to do that in case I do something. Grab a bit of lemon, do a bit of lemon. Oh, didn't like the corner there. That's okay. And as is what we normally do, there'll be some splatters and that kind of thing. It just helps to take your eye away from the fact that, oh, there's torn pieces of paper there. Alright. Be a bit careful with the Dilutions paint. It's a different consistency, as you probably know, to the Dina Wakley. So it's a little bit more wet, more fluid. And I'm dipping into, I've got the white gesso there, so I'm just going to grab some of that too. Let me just have a look, see what's going on up there on the camera. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, it looks like it kind of blends. I mean, it certainly looks good on the camera. You can't sort of see it much, but once again, we'll do some splatters and things like that, so you won't sort of see much of it over there. I am going to just grab some white because I just feel it's gone yellow again, and I'm just going to just very lightly tap over it all. Just want to give it a little bit of a lightening. Now, I guess if you know my style, I do this a lot. Is, you know, layers. Like in the background, you might think, oh gosh, what's she doing? That's enough paint. But it's just something, I love building up layers in my backgrounds. It's just something I've always done. And yeah, I don't know, is it a therapeutic thing? Is that the reason I do it? I'm not real sure. But I do think layers do add to the story. So maybe it is just a mindfulness thing for me that I like to do lots and lots of layers. I don't know. Maybe it's my thinking time. I love the mottledness. It looks very... Oh, hello, Wendy. How are you, lovely? Yeah, good. Thank you, darling. You know, you can always go back later and have a look at it if you want to see how I started to create this mess. All right, let's have a look on the camera. Yep, kind of looks a bit dirty in the middle there, but that's okay. It's got to have a little bit of contrast of colour. So, right, I'm happy with that. I'm not going to put... I might just do a little bit of the grid. And just a tiny... Yeah, I say that, don't I? Just a little bit of the grid around the edges of where I did all right. Okay, that'll do. All right, so that's looking good. Okay, let's have a look up there. Yes, it's looking good. Now, I'm just going to put this to the side again, because I know I'm probably being a little bit too... There's my girl. Now, I've got this. Don't know if it's going to be big enough. Yep, that'll do for most of it. It's mostly around here that so I'm just going to very roughly go around. I'm not even following it properly. because I will chop it up. My old scissors. I usually 5 or 6 mil within the boundary. I am just wanting to put a little bit of a border around, backing onto it. And I mean, I guess you'll see why. It's not going to cover all of it, and that's okay. Just want to give the fabric, the paper, a little bit of stability. That's actually just craft journal. That's from the craft journal book. When I do my cutout pages, I always keep the leftovers, so that just want to make sure that there is nothing showing. That the right way? No, it's that way. Poor girl, she's in awful shape. Alright, I think that's better. I will just chop a bit off the bottoms. Okay, glue, get some glue. Is that the right way? Come on. Because it is very flimsy paper, like I was saying before. Wendy, I got this out of a magazine, this picture, this image. But the paper itself is very, very flimsy. So I just wanted to put something there. Because the paper's so thin, the reason why I've done this, it doesn't necessarily need, I could have done it with matte medium, but I want to put these die cuts, I want to put them behind. You know, like it might sit like that or something like that. If I put that, glued that down and then put this over the top of it, this paper's so thin that when you go to glue it on, she'll have all these creases in her head and wherever the body part is. So that's why I've decided to put that little bit of cardboard behind. All right, so that there is a method in my madness. Tidying up a little bit here, get rid of all this mess. That's for my book. Okay. Now, I'll just leave that for the moment. Now, what did I do? Now, remember I've got this frame. Now, I'm going to take this off because what I want to do is got the glue here. Well, I might do that right now. Actually, no, I won't. I'll do the same thing with this. Okay, and again, I'm just going to chop that up. I'll go in a few mil. This is going to sit inside the frame. So I've got my quote out. That's okay. So I won't glue this on just yet because I'm going to actually paint. Nothing's square. supposed to be square, but it's okay. So that's that. What I'm going to do now is paint the frame. I'll just grab a bit of paper. Hope I haven't lost you yet, guys. I was wondering where she came from. Oh yes, so Breathe magazine. This magazine, it's the latest one that they have. I buy it every couple of months, and I use it a lot. There's lots of collage fodder in here, and in this issue you get this beautiful little print as well. But there's lots of quotes and things like that. Look at that. I mean, you know, you could use that as part of your background. You could collage that up really, really nicely. Yeah, good night, Fiona. Well, thank you for popping by, darling. And this one here, you know, like I was going to be using that at some time soon. So there's all sorts of things in here, and yeah, because you know, I do lots of ATCs, as you know, but I often get my ATC stuff out of those books, ideas from them and that kind of thing. Right, I've got night here, so I'm just bring this out a little bit for you. Hopefully you can see this. If it'll come out. Oh, it's been... There we go. Might need to buy some more of this. So that's night, but I'm also going to put in some of the sapphire. Come on. Oops. Alright, and I shall just grab a thinner. Oh, it's about as thin as I've got at the moment. So can you see that? Yeah, so I'm just mixing this up. So it's just changed the colour of it a little bit. So just very quickly. And I'm sure I said before, this is a 49er market frame. I always keep some on hand. Some of them have stitching on, which I like. Real stitching. But I'm actually feel like I'm getting into that stitching bug again. So I used to, in years past, do a lot of stitching on my journal pages, and I guess, well, my sewing machine's just not in the studio, so I don't do it, but I'm thinking I might have to bring it down. I don't do any dressmaking these days, so I bought the machine just to do journaling. Alright, so I'm pretty happy with that. Before I go any further, I'm going to put a few splatters on here. I will put some on the original page, but so I'm just using the sapphire in the squirt bottles, the gloss. I don't know what the official name for them, I call them squirt bottles, but I'm not sure what the original name is. I'm just looking for my, here it is, my fan brush. I do love doing my splatters with the fan brush, but golly gosh, it makes a mess. So I usually try to, I hope that's covering up you guys. So I'll just do some splatters on here. It will show up a little bit. It's not going to be a lot, but it will show up. You probably can't see it there, of course. Let me see if I can, let's bring it up on here. See if you can see that a little bit. Yeah, you can't really see the splatters. Absolutely. All of my gloss sprays now I use them for splatters because they're glossy and you know, the really intense colours and that. So I'm even thinking of buying the new bottles to put all, because it's just a waste, all of those gloss that I've got sitting in there. Now you can't see it on the screen there, but you can see it. The fact that it's gloss, it stands out, and there is a slight colour variation, but it's not enough for you guys to see it on the screen there, but it is there. Right, so this frame isn't quite square, I've decided. Okay, so that's the right way. Okay, so glue bottle. Can anyone see my glue bottle? Oh, here it is. Stop looking. Okay. Bit of glue on there. So I'll just move that so I can see. You don't really want my head. Just going to turn that over, make sure it's all. Okay, so that's like that. Now I'm just going to quickly cut this baby out. So if you do yourself a favour and get yourself one of these scissors, these Tim Holtz scissors, they are the bomb. They are so light in your hand and great for arthritic fingers. I've got the Fiskars scissors as well, and the Fiskars to me is the same weight as the other. You get 2 springs with these scissors. I'll show you those springs there. This is the real light spring, so it's really, really light, whereas this one here, it just is a little bit, has a little bit more resistance. And to me, that's the other spring that you get with the set. So you can change them, interchange them. I guess it's just whatever you like to do, I suppose. But I don't know. I paid $37. Best investment I've made this year, I think. Again, I'm leaving a little bit of white around the edge, bit of a border. Seem to be doing that a lot these days, but yeah. So, what I'm going to do is grab a bit of glue. Just a little bit of glue. And I am going to, excuse me, reaching across in front here. I'm going to put that onto there. I'm going to try and tuck it under there a bit. Come on. That's it. Okay, so there we got ourselves a cute little frame. And while I'm here, I might as well do the rest of this. I'll use my big scissors. When I'm cutting out quotes, I tend to use big scissors because you get a bigger, more even cut. if I use those scissors cutting big quotes, I'm all wibbly wobbly. And I'm going to put that across the top there. That in the middle-ish. Alright, I'll put an outline around that later. So, now I've done that bit and I've done this bit. Let me just move bits out the way here. Scissors out the way. Lock them up. Great locking system on those. Alright. It's really bothering me seeing that white up there, but I'll be putting blue around the outside edge. Oh gosh, where's my girl gone? Here she is. So I was going to put her there. And I haven't put any washi tape on, and at this stage I don't think I will. So how is that for luck? There's just enough shirt there without that cardboard for her to go across. Sorry, I'll just move that up a bit. Anyway, good. So can you sort of see, and then that's going to be, oh, that's what I was going to do, yeah. I was going to actually hang that up, so, okay. I might find a different way to, maybe I will put this washi tape on. No, I'll worry about that later. Sorry. Changing my mind, as is my want. So I'm going to leave that there. Now, this is where I need to decide. I did 3 of these guys. Doesn't mean I have to use them. Now, for instance, one of them, there's my scissors. Yes, definitely, Wendy, you're quite right there. And they are worth the money. You know, I know it's a lot of money to outlay, but they really are worth it. So I'll probably do something like that, maybe even tuck it out the side there a bit. Don't know, something like that. Bring that down there like that. And this one here, I was kind of thinking, just bring this down a little bit. So you can sort of see now by putting all these things on here, you're not noticing the background being paper stuck onto the page, that kind of thing. So it's not too bad. I'm just mindful of connecting, so I'm wondering whether I should put that like that, just to connect that a little bit. How does that look on the page up there? Yep, that's not too bad, I think. So I'll probably bring that right down so that that's like that, something to that effect. Okay, yep, all right, so I'm just going to remove that, grab my glue, so put it there. Okay, just try and remember, I just run a little bit of spotty glue all over this. I don't cover every little line, just what I think is important. Right, so put that there. tamping off the extra glue there. Now I've got to remember to do splatters before I stick all the bits on. Right, now where are we? I'll put this one across here, so okay. Okay. Geez, I can't remember where that it was about there. Can't remember where I had it now. I might move that over there. That'll do, near enough. Yeah. So what I'm trying to do here, I've just got to make sure that it's probably going to rip up because it's stuck in the corner there. So just push that in to try and get into that crease there. Let me see. I'm not quite sure if that's where it was, but that's okay. Near enough is good enough. The main thing is I wanted to connect the two the two pages, because that frame might be sitting in the air. I may do something with that. I see how. I'll see how I go. Tomorrow I might change my mind. How are we going for time? We're almost finished. Okay, beautiful. All right. Yeah, I was going to put some fancy foam tape on the back, but I couldn't be bothered right this very minute. Because, not that I couldn't be bothered, it's just I've changed my thinking. Put that straight on there. So the idea of this frame here is, I've got to do splatters, is to write, savouring every joy. In the magazine, they gave you the paper there so you could write down journaling things, you know, that kind of is your bag. But, you know, here I thought you could write things that bring you joy, that sort of thing. Okay, splatters, splatters, splatters. I'll cover that up so it doesn't get... Oh, a couple of splatters mightn't be too bad. So I've just grabbed a whole heap. Oh, didn't shake it. Okay, grab my book again. I will grab. Have I got a couple of bits of paper? What have I got here? Yes. maybe put a couple on there, but not too many. All right, so let's go. Ooh. There we go. Yeah. Awesome. Right, put that aside, dry this off a bit. Starting to look good. What size journal are you using? I'm using the Dina Wakley craft journal. Oh, it's the American size. Here we go. Whoops. Oh. 25 by 18 or 18 and a half or something. Yeah, it's the standard. It's like the, you know, the blue journal that she used to have, that kind of thing. Okay, it's not an A4. It's my go-to journal now. I don't think I'll ever buy an A4 one anymore. The Dilutions one, I don't think I'll ever get those again. They're just too big and cumbersome for me. I like this size. It's a good size. It's in between A5 and A4, but it's the American size. All right, now we shall put her on now. So I will put glue there, but I won't push down too hard. Right, so I want that in the corner, I want that there, that in the corner, and then, so I've just got to be real careful here. Not Nope, not enough. What I need to do is fold that over a bit, I think. I'll fold that first, put that down. I'm making this look much harder than it should be. It's so hard because of all of the bits I've got underneath there. It shouldn't be difficult, but for some reason it is. Okay, I suspect I'm going to have to glue that down a bit more. Now I might she's not glued down very well, but I'll I'll fiddle with her a bit later on. I'm just going to stick this on now, and then I'm going to pretty much call that a day. I might fiddle around with this a little bit more, but this is pretty much what I'm doing today. Where is my big scissors? There. Right, now I just want to be real careful because I want to now the happiness part of it. All right. Sorry, I can't concentrate and cut at the same time by the sounds of it. Right. Okay. So I am going to put that up there somewhere, in pursuit of happiness. Does that look all right there? Let me have a look. Yep, I think I'll probably put that there like that. Or does it need to go there? Kind of straight. In pursuit of, how about we do that? Yeah, that'll do, because I like it to be on her for a little bit. Oh my God. There we go. I don't think that's going to stick down very well, but anyway, that's okay. All right. Now, I'm not filling all that in tonight or anything like that, but I will go around the outside with the blue ink, the stamp pad. I'll put that onto a, what have I done with it? Spongy thing. But yeah, I can do that off camera. But that's pretty much what I was wanting to do today. So I will play with that as well. But I'll go around the outline of her also and tie up any loose bits on it. So I'll just hold that down. Sorry, can't see. But that's pretty much it for tonight. So do consider, you know, magazines. It doesn't have to be the Breathe magazine. It could be any magazine. But do consider magazines that you have, that there is some collage photo there that can be had. And, yeah, so thank you for joining. Thanks, Robin. Yes, I like the colours as well. You know, we were able to tone back that yellow there is a lot of yellow on it, but I think we've managed to tone it back a little bit. But yeah, so I hope you're inspired to use some of your old magazines that you might have kicking around. And thanks, Susan. Thank you. I appreciate that. And yeah, so thanks for stopping by. And I will put pictures up tomorrow of the final thing. I like to take pictures during the day. But anyway, thank you, Marianne. Thank you, everyone who has stopped by and watched me fluff around tonight. And I look forward to seeing you again very, very soon. Thanks, Carolyn. Thanks. Bye-bye, girls.